And the background on Moses was an orphan to the Pharaoh's sister, and he grew up, became a murderer, killed an Egyptian slave driver, fled out, was gone, and was walking through the mountains one day, herding sheep, and saw a bush on fire. And it wasn't burning it up or anything. It was just on fire. And I mean, if I saw something like that, I'd probably flip out and run away because I wouldn't know what to do. But God told him, he said, I want you to set my people free. And so Exodus 6:9-11 says, the Lord, verse 10 right before it said, the Lord spoke to Moses, go and tell the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, let the Israelites go from this land. And later on it talks about all the plagues that they went through, everything like that, from the death of a firstborn to something as small as turning the Nile into blood. I mean, nothing got the Pharaoh's attention until the death of the firstborn. And as soon as that happened, he said, I want these people out of my land. He said, I don't want them here anymore. I don't want the pain that comes with them. We let them leave, and he started chasing them down. And the Israelites got to thinking, and they were talking amongst themselves. They said, we would have been much better to stay in Egypt and be enslaved and be fed and everything like that than to leave and have the Pharaoh's men come after us and kill us. And I mean, that's what they were holding back. They were holding back so much. They didn't want to leave. They had lost faith in God, the one who had brought them out of that and was a pillar of fire lighting their way through the night and a cloud leading them by day. And later on it talks about there was a cloud over the tent where Moses and God would meet. And I mean, I think that's amazing, because if we had a cloud over top of the church that was embraced with God and God was in it, people would come by and be like, yeah, that's where God is every day. You can see him every day. And I mean, we don't need that cloud over here. We can say, let people see God in us every day. And it talks about a woman being forgiven in John. John 77:53, 8-11 says, so each one went to his house, but Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. At dawn he went to the temple complex again, and all the people were coming to him. He sat down and began to teach them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman caught in adultery, making her stand in the center. Teacher, they said to him, this woman was caught in the act of committing adultery, and the law of Moses commanded us to stone such a woman. What do you say? They asked this to trap him in order that they might have evidence to accuse him. Jesus stooped down and started writing on the ground with his finger. When they persisted questioning him, he stood up and said to them, the one without sin among you should be the first to throw a stone at her. He stooped down again and continued writing on the ground. When they heard this, they left one by one, starting with the older men. Only he was left, with the woman in the center. When Jesus stood up, he said to her, woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you? No one, Lord, she answered. Neither do I condemn you, said Jesus. Go, and from now on do not sin anymore. And this bondage that we carry, that was her bondage. It doesn't talk about her anymore. But he told her, he said, go and sin no more. And she was forgiven for that right then. The bondage that we carry on our wrists is just like that. We do it all the time. I know what I've got on mine, and everybody in here knows what they have on theirs. And I mean, whether it's little white lies or stuff like that, it's all sin, either way you look at it. And whenever he told her, go and do not sin anymore, that's proving that God does give second chances. That whenever he says you're forgiven, that it's gone in the wind and that it won't be found again. It talks about a transformation too. Romans 12:1-2 that Mike read earlier today. Therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, I urge you to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this age, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may discern what is the good, pleasing, and perfect will of God. And I mean, that verse alone speaks wonders to me, because it says, be different. We've got so many Christians that are walking around today that are playing the church person on Sundays and Wednesdays, and then Monday through Saturday, they're just a completely different person. They're doing a complete 180. And I mean, why not, whenever we go to church, we keep that throughout the whole week? That way we stand apart and people come up and ask us what's so different about us. I mean, I know it's hard, I'm not going to lie to you, because I have troubles with it all the time. I've rededicated myself twice, and I mean, I did awesome for about a month. And I mean, the world started setting in on me again. I started getting complacent and not thinking about the stuff I was doing. And I mean, it doesn't take long to go back to what you knew. I mean, it's always going to be a fight, because you've got, the world is telling you to do something and your heart's telling you to do something else. So, and you've got God on your side, and there's no battle you can't lose without Him.